Bulldog fans, welcome to another week of the Bulldog Coaches Report. I'm your host, Coach Jeff Morehead, and with me as always, Coach Mack. We are here tonight. We are at the end of the regular season, a 51-36 win at Grays Creek last Friday night to put our record at 7-3 on the regular season. Coach, just some thoughts on the game from Friday night.
A little bit sloppy at times, but I was really proud of it's hard to get through that last game of the year, especially when you're favored by that many points. So I was happy with the way we got out of there injury-free and pretty much, got a lot of different people some playing time. I think that was major key.
Yeah, a lot of guys saw the field on both sides of the ball and special teams. We had touchdowns by Gavin Kraut, 2 by Jacob Moore, Iziah Williams a touchdown, Sebastian O'Keefe had 2 touchdowns, Isaiah Washington our final touchdown of the night, and then a safety to get 2 points by Latrell Lynch. Coach, there's just something different sometimes about a defensive score.
There really is. A defensive score just kind of motivates you. It's, so rare in high school, and I just think the safety's probably the most rare play that you see in high school football. So when Latrell, with defense, put that pressure, Latrell got that play. Because of that pressure, we were really pumped up, and it came at a very opportune time.
Offense, another great night on the field, 226 yards rushing, 240 passing, over 450 yards total. I mean, we expect 40 points at the minimum every Friday night, Coach.
Yeah, it's pretty much been the standard. And when you've got a group of seniors that are great leaders and great football players and are unselfish, I really preface that. Unselfish football players, and they just want to win. They don't care who gets the credit. You raise that standard a little bit. We 300 yards a game and 32, 35 is what we'd like. And so we saw a little more opportunity with the line growing that we talked about last week. That was huge to hit that 40-point moniker and run up a lot of yards. So.
And that's not easy to do. A lot has to go your way to score that many points. That's a very great effort by our offensive players and offensive coaches to accomplish all those points and all those stats over the course of the season. I thought defensively we did some good things. The one thing we got to clean up, though, just some mental lapses by our guys at times. Maybe not getting the call from the sideline. Maybe not doing what you're coached to do, and those plays come playoff time can end your season and be killers.
Yeah, that's a really great point, as usual with you. I think also some of those guys playing on offense, they know how explosive they are. I can take a break right here, get my breath, because they play a lot. I mean, you talk about Zay's going to be on the show, and Gavin, who's been on before, Jordan's going back to defense this week. I mean, those guys play a lot, mostly 95, 97% of the game, and you're going to get tired, but knowing when to steal that in the playoffs is going to be very key, because it's easy to steal it on defense and think they might not come this way, and on offense you have something to do every play, it seems, in our offense, blocking, or either you're a check down guy who gets the ball a lot. So I think the mindset's a big key with you guys coaching them each position group, and then I think the flow of the game will be a big key, because I feel like a lot of people are going to try and slow us down by running the ball.
We're at the end of the regular season, a 7-3 record. Coach, when you look back at the total body of work, just some thoughts on our regular season.
We're a few plays away from being 8-2. A couple plays, 1 or 2. We're 4 or 5 away from being 9-1, and probably 7-9 away from being undefeated. But 7-3 is who we are. We have to embrace it. Know how to get over the humps like we have in the past. I'll say we're not afraid to play people in different positions, and I love that about this staff. We're going to tinker with it, and they have to come up with the result, because we want to be a lot better at the end of the year, not just a little bit. Because of the seeding, and get a high seed and play somebody easy first round. We want to be tested so we can play anybody in any round and be prepared.
Even in our 3 losses, we led in every game, all those games, and so that shows our guys we could play with anybody, which. There's a great chance that we could see Scotland in round 2. Obviously, you have to get by Smith Friday, but Scotland has a bye this week, and we'll talk more about the playoffs towards the end of the show. All right, after the break, we will talk to our 2 players of the week, 2 athletes that really play the whole game, let's be real. Seniors, Iziah Williams and senior Jordan Browning, who have had great years for us. They had great games at Grays Creek last week, and that's why they're on the show this week.
Yes, sir.
And we are back to talk to them after these messages.
Go Dogs.
Welcome back to the Terry Sanford Coaches Report. Coach Mack, our first player of the week.
My pleasure, Coach. Our first player of the week is a senior that everybody's seen a lot. We know him as Zayday, and his name is Iziah Williams, senior. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Welcome back to the show. Been on a couple times this season. It's hard to believe that we're, through the regular season. We're on to the playoffs. Just some of the players' thoughts on how the regular season went.
I think it went good. Not how we wanted it. We wanted to go undefeated, but I think we did good, battling adversity and everything.
Yeah, really competitive in every game this year, Coach. Even the losses that we had, we were right there with chances to win or leads in that game.
Yeah, and the schedule was indicative of, the 4-year starters. We have the leadership. They said they wanted to be challenged. So, I feel more comfortable at 7-3 with this schedule and playing this schedule. Some of the top teams in the East than I would in the past years when our conference wasn't as strong.
We've talked all year about senior leadership, Zay. Just some of the underclassmen. Who were some of the underclassmen that we had that really stepped up this season, in your opinion?
I'd say Prince White, Caden Brown-Wills, Womack.
You're naming off some of your defensive teammates there. And, Coach, these are all guys that we knew would be players for us, and they were asked to step in. And they really embraced that role early in the season. Yeah,
it really did. I would throw in Bassey because he just is a sponge with these guys, and I feel like he's going to be in their category of a leader one day. He's selfless. And then you throw in the offensive line, which are, the junior class. When you add that, the sophomores, what they've taught them in the juniors, I feel real good about the future.
Just leadership is in good hands going
Very
forward.
Much.
Just say, how do you feel that you improved this year, and how did the team improve over the course of the season?
I think I improved much on just staying healthy, and then the team just battling adversity and being able to fight, never giving up in any game.
Yeah, staying healthy is really important. You play both sides of the ball. You're out there, I would say 95% of the game when you talk about special teams. We talked about this early in the season, but as we're getting into playoff time, just how are you keeping yourself fresh physically and mentally?
I've been getting massages recently and cupping and dry needling.
Coach, have you ever gotten any of those things before?
No, but I'm going to look into it if I can stay as healthy as right after we leave this show.
I know you're under the weather a little bit.
That is correct.
Injuries and health can do a lot. Sickness
That's
can
so
go
true.
around and can sort of derail a team. We got to stay healthy at this point of the season.
100%.
All right. From a player's perspective, is playoff practice? You've been a 4-year guy with us. The playoff practices, are they any different than a regular season practice?
I think so. I think everybody starts to up it a notch because it's playoffs and this winter go home. I think some people don't really look at it like that in the regular season, even though they should, but it's definitely a switch.
Coach, one thing you've done a great job of as head coach is keeping the guys fresh, and that might mean we practice for an hour and a half, but it's about the quality of practice this year and a lot of mental reps at this time of the year too, Coach.
It's a great point. I've kind of studied, great football coaches and different things that teams do just so I can gain every advantage for the coaching staff because they're so great. And then the players that, we think so highly of, just not on the football field, off as well. And it gave my heart warm when I saw the Indiana coach and his schedule, how he did it. I feel like if we keep them fresh, we keep the staff fresh. It's very important to keep them fresh, and then we don't waste any time. I'm always saying, is this wasted time? No wasted time. Let's make sure we move from to drill so we can get that in. And it seems to pay off at the end of the year. We all sat down and talked and said it pays off at the end of the year. We seem like we're fresh at the end of the year.
We're filming on a Monday this week. We'll have practice in about an hour and a half, couple hours from now. And a Monday practice for a team, you're not doing a lot of plays. It's a lot of walkthrough. It's a lot of talk. Yeah. It's a lot of install of the game plan. We're even having a long film session before practice today. Just those mental reps this time of the year, Coach.
It's great. You'll see, Zay, when we talked about it one time on here, talking about how to watch film. You can't just go in the film room and just watch film. And, they knew it when they were young. When they were freshmen, they would take that like a sponge, this whole group of seniors. You're going to talk to Jordan, another senior, in a few minutes. But they are just really good at taking parts that we think are really important, implementing them, and making sure the younger guys are locked in.
All right, Zay, real quick, we're playing E.E. Smith for a second time in the season. We played them week 3. We were fortunate to win that game, did a lot of positive things. We beat E.E. Smith Friday if we do what?
Just do our jobs. Nobody trying to do anybody else's job.
I like it.
do your job, trust your teammate, as Coach Wyrick, Coach Cadez, and our defensive guys have said for many years. Zay, looking forward to you making some big plays for us in the playoffs. We'll be back after these messages.
Zay Day, go Dogs.
Welcome back to the Terry Sanford Coaches Report. Coach Mack, our second player of the week.
My pleasure, Coach. Our second player of the week is Jay Real, otherwise known as Mr. Jordan Brown, number 0.
Yes, sir.
Jordan, how many catches did you have Friday night? Do you remember?
I want to say 3, 4, one of them.
A lot of yards, though.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
big play potential. We've talked about weapons throughout the course of the season, and when they see those big plays that Jordan made Friday night, Coach, that's somebody else the defense has to worry about the next week.
Really proud of Jordan because he's such a good athlete. He can play all over the place, and got a couple of offers from on defense, and just told him, hey, look, I know you're doing what's best for the team. Don't worry about it. They want athletes at the next level, and he's definitely that. He fits that mold. He's come over on the offense and just made us explosive. You see the yardage that we put up, the scoring. We knew we had Zay and Gavin over there, but we were missing that one piece. And fortunately, we could get him a little bit more time on defense, but he's been a main reason blocking downfield and doing the little things on the offensive side of the ball that have allowed us to be explosive.
All right, Jordan, 7-3 regular season. Just some of your thoughts and your teammates' thoughts on the season so far.
I feel like the season went great. We learned a lot of lessons over the season. It didn't go as we wanted because we didn't win conference like we wanted to again, but that's okay. We're in playoffs, so we can make another history moment.
I asked Zay just some underclassmen that stepped up, and he said a lot of defensive guys. Who were some underclassmen maybe on the offensive side that stepped up, in your opinion, this season?
Sebastian O'Keefe, definitely. I want to say Christian Brown. Christian Brown stepped up a lot too. He's learning a lot. I want to say Jay Will, also known as Jay Will. He plays JV, but he's still also a good player.
Jordan mentioned Christian Brown, Coach, and he has pretty much been on all scout teams this year, and the Bulldog fans will get a chance to really see his talents more next year and beyond. But just some thoughts on those underclassmen, Coach.
I love his character. First of all, he's a team-first young man. Love his character. He's one of those guys that's going to do, what do you need this week, Coach, to win, and not fuss about it. And you need several of those guys, but it's harder and harder each year to find those guys with, social media and everybody wanting to put a highlight film up. A lot of those highlights happen, and a lot of the scoring and a lot of defense, all these plays happen because you have selfless people like Christian Brown, who is just as capable. He's just on a star-studded senior-led team, and he is one of the big reasons his play during the week on scout, and then way he pushes the other guys because they're friends. Can't say enough about him.
How do you feel you and the team improved over the course of the 10-game regular season?
We definitely improved a lot. Our mentality definitely changed from the beginning of the season. Beginning of the season, we was a lot more, I want to say, unconfident. But then over the season, we realized, okay, we got this. We can really put some stuff together and make things happen.
Just gaining confidence. I think if you look at all of our games, we led at some point in all the games. We really played well. If we could get about 10 plays back, we would be 10-0 right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
sir.
it's about learning and moving on. All right, playoff practice is here. You've been through this before as a guy who's been around, and you're a senior. How is playoff practice to you compared to maybe a regular season practice?
I feel as they don't really change for us because the mentality at Terry Sanford is we're playoff ready always. Regular season, we're ready for playoffs. Playoffs, it just come natural at that point. So everything's really going to be the same for me. Intensity might pick up a little bit, but we're ready for it.
You know, we've been in a lot of big games. We're the big game for a lot of teams that we play, Coach, that circled game. So I think that helps come playoff time.
Yeah, it really does. And, you know, we talk as a staff about who to schedule and where we schedule them. You know, we're real cognizant of where they come up on the schedule, and just felt like that this team needed to be challenged really early on, and who better than to go get the Eastern champion from the last couple of years and go get 71st and challenge yourself. And then those bigger schools that we know that we might run up on a Eastern team up north that might have a bigger line, a couple of those guys that have a bigger line, so we go get Jack Britt and some of those things. So it's really playing that schedule allows these guys, and then you put in the 4 years they've had, they won't see anything in the playoffs they haven't seen the last 4 years.
All right, have our second game versus E.E. Smith this Friday. We win this game Friday if we do what, Jordan?
Have a playoff mindset. Let everybody realize that it's win or go home. We can't take nothing light for nobody. Everybody got to get the same treatment, really.
Coach, when you hear Jordan say that, just elaborate on that real quick.
I really do. It's a direct reflection of their coaches. You know, we've got the best coaching staff that, you know, I've ever been around, and those, you know, we're so like-minded. You know, a lot of times we don't have to talk. We can just finish each other's sentences. And I think the staff being that close and how much we care about the kids and the young men now, I just think it comes through very easily, and they adopt that, and they know it's a winning attitude.
Jordan, a great year on the field as a receiver. Bulldog fans might see him on the defensive side a little bit more Friday and beyond, because he's that kind of player for us. We're back after these messages.
Thank you.
Go Dogs.
Back from our final timeout, Coach. We had a pretty good idea when we left the office on Friday night. We had a pretty good idea we would play one of three teams, Smith, Westover, and Swansboro. Yeah. So we started doing our homework this weekend against two of the three teams that we saw early in the year, so we had some tape on them. But when the brackets finally came out on Sunday, a little frustrating from a coaching perspective. That made us meet a little later. We met at 6 o'clock last night, later than our 9:30 normal Sunday morning time. But when the brackets were finalized, E.E. Smith's on the other side. E.E. Smith 3-7 on the year, wins over Wilmington Ashley the week before they played us. Week 3, they beat Grays Creek early in the year, and they beat Douglasburg. Coach, are there any challenges to playing a team for the second time in a season?
It's a huge challenge because, you know, and beating them because the score is not indicative of how hard they played and how good a team they are. So I would say the biggest thing this week is us not playing an opponent like we talk about. Let's get better every day, every play. Not worry about the other team, but us execute and worry about what we have to worry about and not worry about who the opponent is.
You know, we played over there week 3. We were up 20-0 at halftime. That team fought the entire game. They did not give up. Again, Coach Williams is in his second year. Program has really made a lot of improvements during his time there. Coach, what's the message to the team now that we're in the playoffs?
Well, the message is we're one and done. It's do or die time. A lot of them have experienced this because we play a lot of kids young over there. But the message is look at who you've played, who you can play with. Look at the high seeds. We've played them. Most of the teams 1 through 8 are similar. 1 through 10, I would even say this year in the East, you've got some really good teams with 8-2 and 73 records. So it's a matter of who you played in the regular season, and so there should be no surprises. We should know by the teams that we played what we're capable of doing. Now, how hard are you going to work on it Monday through Thursday so we can get to the party on Friday, which is what we call it?
You know, our players have talked all year about playing to our standard. When we play to our Terry Sanford football standard, you know, that standard is good enough to beat most of the teams in the state.
That's true.
One thing that hurts teams, though, is when they play down to their competition sometimes, because you let teams kind of hang around, you never know what might happen.
There's trouble, and really you're not getting better playing that way. When you're challenging yourself and you're just playing, hey, look, I'm 11 on offense, we're going to execute. I don't care who's on defense. That's when you get better. When you play down to your competition, I feel like We're not getting better every play, every day, as we say. So it's imperative if you want to advance in the playoffs that you have to be a little lucky in the later rounds, but you better play and respect every team all 48 minutes.
You know, with on the other side of our bracket, Scotland is the 8th seed, so the winner of our game versus E. Smith will play at Scotland next Friday night. There's a great chance that the Scotland coaches will come. It's only a 45-minute. They will come to watch our game, and they'll be. You know, I know we're very familiar with them, but they're going to watch everything that we do: effort, running off the field, how the offense plays, defense plays. So you want to be clicking on all cylinders when we go. If we're fortunate to win Friday, we go down there next week.
And that's a great point. That's a great point about them being there because you want to put something in their mind as well.
You know, it's a playoff football is exciting for the players and fans. Is excitement the same word for the coaches?
Yeah, I think you feel new. I think we feel like it's a new season because we break it down into, such a long process putting the football team together. And we're not talking about, they've been in the program 4 years if you're a senior, but you're still putting each year's a different one because you lose kids and lose positions. So to put that together, if you don't break it up, I feel like it can wear on you. So, we're in the final phase of our season and with this team. And I just feel like coaches, we know the long haul. We've done it so many times, especially on this staff with all the experience that we have. I just feel like it's a new season for us and that we actually feel that in the playoffs.
We have definitely gone back to watch our game from week 3.
Yes.
Athletic team, big team.
Oh, man.
I mean, they've got new. I mean, sometimes the team gets in, they've got, a new opportunity and go, upset teams. And so we can't take it. Nobody is taken lightly at this time of the year. We know what they're going to run offensively. We know what they're going to run defensively. We are at home Friday night, 7:00 kickoff. The only passes that work from this point forward is a state pass. Unfortunately, school badges don't work. This is a state playoff game, so everything has to be reported to them. 7:00 kickoff, Bill Yeager Stadium, Armstrong Stadium. We are there Friday night. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.